And thank you for joining us here on PM Express. In the last few weeks, the focus has been on illegal mining, and it is for a good reason. As I'll begin to show you very soon, we are not only at the crisis point, it is an existential threat. And the evidence shows it is getting worse. And so tonight, the one man with the power to fix it is John Dramani Mahama. We've heard his position on a few of the issues around illegal mining. And so we took a time here with my colleagues who produce PM Express to say, let's track the issue with Galamsey over the last 8 months around the president's sole mandate, which is really to ensure our collective safety. And so we're going to be looking at John Mahama's fight against illegal mining, basically. The good, we'll look at the bad, and we'll look at the ugly. Let's start with the good. So there are a few things he's done that he points to, which, if you assess, are good steps. But the question to ask is, are these enough, considering where we are? So what are the good steps that John Mahama has taken as far as this is concerned? Remember that we have the Anti-Illegal Mining Secretariat, which was established. You must say, though, that all governments over the last, 10, 15 years have had one form of a secretariat or the other to try and deal with illegal mining. He had it at the time when he was president between 2013 to 2016. He had a form of this. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo also had his own interministerial committee. That's where Frimpong Boateng was the chair. And now we have John Mahama also putting in place his own anti-illegal mining secretariat to deal with this particular problem. So this is one good step he's taking. A lot of the presidents before him and after him tried to do something about this with the same structure. Then you have the 9 red zone areas that, of course, forest reserves that were reclaimed that they told us about. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister told us about this. And so this, again, is good. And Erastus Taridonko, one point, followed the team that was doing this, confirmed some of the red zone and indeed been reclaimed, taken back from the legal miners. Although, yes, down the line, Erastus again showed us that some of the areas that good work had been done and reclaimed, the illegal miners were going back in there. So, but at least when you start to look at the effort there with the 9 red zone forest reserves that they took back from the legal mining, that for us is one of the good things that had happened. The police took a lot of credit for this, but you can credit to JM too. Why? Because the Interior Minister obviously is the final authority on the chain of command. It goes to the president ultimately. So when they reassigned the police commanders in districts where we have illegal mining happening, it was a good one. It was one of those steps that we have not seen in the mix of tools you can deploy to fight illegal mining. Because the police officers who are in the districts should know what is happening there. It is an illegality. So if it's happening under your watch, you have no business being there. And so when the IGP took this step, it was a good thing. And here on PM Express, we spoke to the Deputy Interior Minister, who told us that he has a full backing and had been discussed with the government, and they endorsed it. So this is a good step. And of course, you have the 985 river guards that the government also introduced, and they were put out there, they were trained, they were equipped to go out there and deal with mining on river bodies. So again, it was a good step. And a few additional ones, responsible cooperative mining that was launched. And this one is the one that broke our hearts, our collective hearts as citizens. Why? Because it was the event that was about to see the launch of this cooperative mining initiative that saw that helicopter crash that claimed 8 lives. So this, again, was a good step. It has been launched. Some work is happening there. We need an update on its effectiveness, but it was a step in the right direction. So another good there. And the NDC officials, who then were referred to EOCO, the Economics and Organized Crimes Office, by the Attorney General, 2 of them in particular, the national organizer, Joseph Yamin, and Abanga, who happens to be a vice chairman of the party. Now, why is this important? It's pretty rare to have a government take sad action against its own people. And these were not just ordinary party members. It was the national organizer, and there was a vice chairman that the Attorney General had to refer to Yoko for investigation. So that step alone is something, is a good step. But you must ask the question, though, since that referral to Yoko, what has happened? Because often, and I've done this job for quite a while, the state agencies tend to use that approach to avoid scrutiny. Anytime you ask them, they say, well, it's under investigations, and nothing happens until the government exits or another government takes over, and then it's reopened, and then something else happens, and then you begin to see that after the referral, nothing happened. But at least the fact that they even took the step, and if you read the statement that the Attorney General issued in referring them to the Yoko, it was instructive in there. It talks about the fact that the accusations against those two individuals, some of them had been corroborated by media reports. So there was some bit of evidence there that really gave the Attorney General the impetus to refer them to Yoko for investigations. What we need is an update on that investigation. And of course, people like Kenachigbe had said, don't just refer them, we want to see action, because in other cases where people have been referred to Yoko arrest them. They interrogate them. We all know what has happened. So why don't we have this? Have they even been arrested since this referral was made by the Attorney General? It's a question, but it at least is a good step taken by the Attorney General. And then you have the excavator question, which obviously is still lingering, but the step that the government took, we believe, is a good step. One is that you need a license to put the excavators on a ship. Before you even dream of moving them on the oceans to Ghana, you must have a license. So don't think about buying the excavators and for it to get to the port here before you think about getting the certificate to cleared. You need that certification before you put it on the ship heading for Ghana. That step was a good step. We'll interrogate this a bit more when we come to the other aspects of this. But those are 7 good steps that John Dramani Mahama has taken as far as the fight against illegal mining is concerned. Okay, that is the good. Now, let's look at the bad. And this is where it gets a bit heartbreaking. The bad. The first one that we pulled out was the Gold Board. The Gold Board largely is a very, very good initiative. But as we speak tonight, the Gold Board isn't in a position to tell us if all the gold that they're currently buying from across the country does not include illegally mined gold. They're not in a position to tell us that. I listened to Felix Kwachifusu on the morning show. He was asked that question. He had no direct answer to it. So we can't tell. The fact that we can't tell in itself, for us, comes under the bad label. It is bad that we're not able to tell that the hoard of gold that we are currently buying, with a very good initiative called the Gold Board, does not include illegally mined gold. We must be able to tell that. You listen to the president says the solution to this is to tag the gold, to see where it's coming from. They haven't implemented that yet. So they are not in a position to tell us whether or not the gold that we are buying, which is good, is helping our economy. Part of that isn't from illegal small-scale mining. And to think about the possibility that in there is that the state is actually spending taxpayers' resources to buy illegally mined gold, destroying water bodies. That to think about that possibility is scary. It's a terribly bad step that definitely needs to be dealt with. For us, that's the first most important bad step taken by this government. As far as that is concerned, your inability to distinguish is a problem. But if you look at it, there is a reason why that trade is booming. Gold prices have soared globally, $3,779 an ounce. It's very lucrative. There's a reason why it's coincided with the worsening of the situation. I'll show you the data that shows it's worsening, because I've seen government officials say, well, if you say it's worse under our watch, show us the evidence. I will show you the evidence pretty shortly that it is worse. Because wherever there's money, there's greed. And when there's greed, life doesn't matter, which is really what we're seeing with illegal mining here. And then you look at the story of the Gold Board, which is doing great work. Of course, if you look at it, there's the whole of 2024, 53.8 metric tons. But then you come to just January to August, so it's talking about 66.7 metric tons. That is an astonishing number indeed to play around. So something good is happening there. It has an economic benefit. The president himself said it, that we've stopped the smuggling of illegal gold out of the country. And yeah, I mean, even if it's illegal, you are ensuring that the benefit is coming to Ghana. But that clearly is a problem. That clearly is a problem. It's like saying, for example, that the booty from armed robbery, let's get it, let's put it back in the system because the economy needs it. No. You have to figure out that you cannot reward illegal miners by paying them to buy their gold. It's just incentivizing them to continue doing illegal mining. This is good for the economy, but we need to disaggregate illegally mined gold from legally mined gold. And that, for me, is a key problem that they have there. And that, for us, is one of the bad steps. And then you have the export, so money coming in, 11.2 billion coming in this period. So it's a very good thing indeed for the economy. We need that. But the question to ask is, at what cost is a fundamental question to ask, right? Then another key bad step for this government is the deportation of those engaged in illegal small-scale mining crime. It's not even a crime. As I've said, it is environmental terrorism. Those engaged in such environmental terrorism, you do not deport them. You prosecute them to the full extent of the law. You have to. You cannot deport them. But we had an update from the ministry, as far as the Interior Ministry is concerned, telling us that they have deported some 107, I believe, illegal small-scale miners who have been arrested. That is not acceptable because it is not deterrent. It's punishment, but it isn't deterrent. Because we've seen, and the politicians simply do not learn. The MPP had the same scenario with Aisha Wan. What they do, they deported her. What happened? She found her way back into the country and went back to do illegal mining. So you have to ask yourself, so what template was the NDC following when they have criticized the MPP for doing just that by allowing Aisha Wan back in the country? And yet, they've chosen to go the same route, which is we arrest the people, instead of prosecuting them, we send them away. That, for us, is a bad step. And we don't know if that has been revised, but it is something that clearly we flagged as one of the bad steps under JM's watch. It is him. Is he ultimately taking responsibility for this? It's him. This must stop. And clearly, you just have to look at the NPP's case and not repeat it, considering the mandate the NDC has after the 2024 elections. You cannot repeat the same mistakes that eventually led to this overwhelming margin of victory that was handed to the NDC. And another big bad for us is the failure to repeal this very controversial LI 2462. It hasn't been repealed yet, and for us, it's a bad step and a bad commentary on this government over the last, 9 months. Why is this important? Because John Mahama himself was clear that if it is not done, that is, if the repeal hasn't happened, when we come, we will repeal the LI. He was clear he will do so. Yeah, you can say, well, they've come, they have not, he's not finished his term, and so he will still repeal. But no, that is not an acceptable argument. Because he has an overwhelming mandate in Parliament. Overwhelming. And they've had 86 sit-ins to fix the problem, to repeal it. And still, it hasn't happened. You have to call it out. Considering the mandate, to whom much is given, much is expected. If you have a supermajority for the first time in our democratic history, you can do a lot of good. And one of the goods you can do by just flipping your finger, taking to Parliament, 21 sit-ins is repealed, is what you said you would do with this ally. So for the fact that you've had 86 sit-ins, you can pack so many 21 sit-ins into this. You could have done this several times over and it hasn't happened. We call it out as one of the bad steps that has been taken as far as this government is concerned. And then you have the fourth one, which is the failure to enforce the permits for excavator importation. And I said it was one of the good steps. Remember when I started that they even dreamt and imposed this particular policy? But it is the implementation. John Mahama himself admitted that the directive was not followed because the idea was that you do not put the excavator on a ship unless you have the permit. But as you said, people were putting the excavators on the ships and shipping them to Ghana when they didn't have the permit. The permit is not what you get when you get to the port of Ghana. It's what you get before you ship it from wherever origin it is. And that, for me, is another bad one we flagged. Bad step that you implement, you put in place a very effective measure, which we had flagged as a very good step, and yet you don't enforce it, according to Joe Mahama himself. Right? So that's another one. Now let's go to the ugly. And this is really where it gets devastating, because the evidence is overwhelming. We've looked at the good, we look at the bad. Let's look at the ugly when it comes to JM's fight against illegal mining. The first one for me is the ultimate measure of success or failure when it comes to the fight against illegal mining is turbidity levels. And you measure turbidity with NTU, that unit is very important, right? And if you look at the turbidity levels as we speak right now, it is heartbreaking indeed. And this for me tells a story in simple terms. In a central region, which I believe it is the epicenter of the Galamsey impact, on August 31st, 2024, the Ghana Water Company issued a statement. And this was a time when John Dramani Mahama was campaigning to be president. So he was an opposition leader. At the time when he was an opposition leader in August last year, August 31st, when the Ghana Water Company issued a statement, the water bodies in the central region, one of them had a turbidity level of 14,000 NTU. And at the time, they had issued a statement because it was alarming. We had not seen that level of turbidity before. And it was threatening the functioning of the waterworks, the treatment plants there. And so they issued a statement, and it really sparked a nationwide outrage. I did this on the show, and it sparked the outrage. We had UTAC joining, we had the Coalition Against Illegal Mining joining. Everybody joined at the time, because to see that something that should be in single digits, worst case scenario 500 NTU, had risen to 14,000 NTU on the average, was unheard of. But guess what? As we speak, as of 9th of September, go to the central region, another river body that feeds the people there is now recording turbidity levels of 94,800 NTU. I mean, the evidence is just so overwhelming that something drastic must happen. And this will link to the point about declaration of emergency. When the president says it's not necessary yet, the data is here to show you that when in opposition, when he was campaigning to lead this country, we have a river body that was 14,000 NTU, and that sparked outrage, protest. Under his watch, in 9 months or less, we have one body, same region, that is 94,800 NTU. And let me show you the evidence. So we've spent some time in the central region over the last week, looking at the evidence, examining the impact, talking to people, because we want to understand. We can't sit in the cry and tell the Galamsey story. That is the Erastus effect. So we sent a team there again to go and find the evidence. And they came back with this. So the 94,800 I talked about is for the Ayengsu River. And Ayengsu River is a very important one that serves the Kwenyako Headworks. And this is the document that the Ghana Water Company uses to record the turbidity levels. Focus here, 94,800. And this is as of September 6, 2 weeks ago. 6 September 2025, 94,800 NTU. While in opposition, it was one of the river bodies, not the same one. It was 14,000, right? We're talking about this. And by the way, I want to show you, I was using 14,000 for another river body in the same central region. This is at a time when it used to be just single digits. In fact, it used to be double digits in terms of NTU. One of my colleagues, part of the investigative team that went to the ground, recorded the Ghana Water Company officer who was showing us their log. Watch what she told us.
Turbidity. So back then, we record color 450, 400, and the turbidity was around 30, 33. Yeah. That is some
on average.
Yes, on average. You can see we even get 25 for turbidity, 31, 32.
Which was fine.
Which was fine. That one, the system was working well with it. You can see.
26.
So when it gets to like 65, 60, when you record getting to 100, then you start
panicking.
Yes, like, oh, what is going on? Maximally, you can see the 50s, 60s.
Now what is happening?
You can see 18, 19, 21.
So now currently what is happening?
You can see raw water. We recorded 8. At times you could get to even 5.
Wow.
For turbidity. And color, you can see 100. And then now we are recording color over 300,000. This is on the 6th of September. On the 6th of September, yeah. So the turbidity, they recorded 94,800.
And the normal should be around what?
You can see, like 50. Yes, like 50. So even if it has gone so bad, like 500, it's even too much for the system. But now 94,800. Then the color 105,000. Okay, color of about 100, maybe maximum 500 is now 105,000. Okay, so you can see it was written that no flock formation, therefore no supernatant for analysis.
What does it mean?
After the dosages the person added, after performing the test, it didn't coagulate. It didn't coagulate. The water was so bad, so it couldn't coagulate. So after even leaving it to settle, it didn't settle. So they couldn't get even the supernatant to even record.
When I saw this, I just said, wow. I mean, it leaves you speechless to listen to that Ghana Water officer there just walk us through the evidence. He says, even at the time when it reached 100 NTU, they panicked. And that they can even work with 500. And there was a time when it was 30, 60 NTU. As we speak, after the time my crew visited, and he showed the time and the date, on the 6th of September, they recorded 94,800 NTU. That headworks has now been shut down. It's been shut down. That entire body is just gone, it's dead, can't be treated. That is what we are talking about. That is just pure evidence there for you. And this is not the only place the problem hit hard. The team also visited the Setre Himan headworks. And it was fascinating. Watch the video on your screen, and I'll explain to you what is happening. What you see there are officers. This is the intake. This is where the water now enters the treatment plant for it to begin, for the Ghana Water Company to begin treating it. It's so silted with mud that the Ghana Water Company have to hire these boys to use shovel to excavate and to remove the silt. Because if they don't do what you're doing, water will not enter into the plant for treatment. Just watch it. That is where we are as a country tonight. That the Ghana Water Company is now employing men, young men in the communities, and this specifically is the Setre Himan headworks. The intake into the plant is so silted as a result of Galamsey that they are now deploying shovels to scoop out the sand. And that's the headwork, that's the intake. So that the water now can just enter the plant for it to be treated. That is the story of illegal mining. That's it. Young men there. You see them there. They're using shovel. That's the intake. That's where the water simply enters the plant for treatment. They have to use shovel, scoop out. Because if they don't, you're not getting water to drink. The water ain't coming in because of illegal mining. So basically, the evidence is there, overwhelming. And as far as the headworks I talked about in Kwenyanko, which has been talked about quite often, the minister, the Central Regional Minister, told me on Newsnight when this happened, the night the president addressed the media, I spoke to him, And he told us that 10 districts have been affected. 10 districts have been affected because of the shutdown. And there's something that he said that was fascinating. He says he needs the state of emergency because he's the chair of the Security Council there. He needs that so that it will help him fight the Galamsey menace more effectively, more efficiently. I asked him that question. He said he will back it because of what we've seen there. This is Central Regional Minister. Because of the videos that show, he's seen it. He was there. And he's so heartbroken. He needs to fight this. He needs a state of emergency. He backed it. The man on the ground backed it. And if you look at the average water quality index, the dip is quite significant indeed. So that's the story. And this links to the subject of whether or not to declare a state of emergency. Having showed you this evidence, you have to come to the conclusion that something must change about the fight. We can't be doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot. Yes, there has been some good done in the last 9 months, as I've shown, but the evidence is overwhelming. The Central Regional Minister, whose jurisdiction is bearing the brunt, says, I need a state of emergency to fight it. But the president says he's reluctant. He told us that himself. He says, I have been reluctant to implement a state of emergency. How can you be reluctant to implement something when your own minister on the ground says, I need that to fight, to win, empower me, give me the state of emergency? The president says, I'm reluctant. But the president's reason for being reluctant is that he says, we have not exhausted the powers we have. I have without a state of emergency. So he believes, we have to exhaust the other measures. But everything has been tried. Try something new. He says also that he doesn't believe that it's necessary at this stage. You can't say that when we've seen the evidence that they showed you. Right? His own people, in fact, the Environmental Authority boss, Dr. Kluche, Professor Kluche, also says the right thing to do. One time he says, state of emergency, we need it. So that clearly is one of the ugly bits. Another ugly bit for me and for the team is the withdrawal of the IGP's men who were there out there fighting Galamsey and doing the job on the ground. The president gave us a reason the last time. He said one of the reasons why they pulled them off is that we called off the task force because they were not coordinating with NIMOS, so they can't tell who is licensed or not. I mean, this is difficult to accept because it's very simple. The matter of license or unlicensed is a matter of fact because the Minerals Commission is the repository of data of who has been licensed or not. All you needed to do if you had really had this concern was to say, Minerals Commission CEO, hand the list of those who have been licensed to the police team. So when they go, they check, show me your documents. If not, crack down. But you do not withdraw them. You do not withdraw them. But he did. And he says the reason that they can't tell the difference. But that is not a problem because we have a state institution that should have the record. So give it to them so they can go and find the people. So that they are not worrying those who are legally mining. So that clear withdrawal in no universe should be part of a decision, if indeed the reason is they can't tell. So that, again, is an ugly bit. But the problem the president has is that he's created a challenge for himself. Because at the time, part of the reason why we're having a Galamsey challenge is the politics of it, partisan politics. NPP did it, NDC did it. One time he was campaigning in the 2020 elections, before the 2020 election, he had said that he would give amnesty to those arrested in Galamsey operations right across the country. And last year, when doing a campaign, I asked Judge Mukhtar, the president stand by it. He says, yes, the president stands by it. But he's created this problem because once you've set this, the time you were an opposition leader, if you come into power, how can you crack down on these same Galamseyers who, when he had campaigned before to say you grant them amnesty? That is a problem that the president had created for himself, unfortunately. But he has a different mandate now. He has nothing to worry about because he's just unprecedented mandate. People just want action on the matter. Another ugly bit is, for me, the evidence of the devastation when it comes to health. We've seen the report that was released recently about the metal pollutants in the food and water. It's killing people. And the reason why this is a border, because you have lead, you have mercury, you have arsenic, all in dangerous levels. in the food you eat. And my favorite foods are a part of the list. There's fish, there's contomere, and I love it because it's healthy. But we're now being told that the contomere we eat is so much poisoned because of illegal mining that if you eat that, it's a death sentence almost. Because over time, it builds up, it causes that. You may find the damage done later on, and you have to trace it back. Professor Sampany and co have already documented this. Tomato, pepper, tubers, mango, coconut, all of them now have become victims, if you like, of illegal mining. And we are all victims of this. This is data, this is research that has just been released. You cannot dispute the impact of this. And I need to end on this note because this one is the one that broke all our hearts. And the president was right that they were on their way, the 8 gallant men who died on the helicopter. They were on their way to fight illegal mining. Why? Because they were going to launch an initiative that was supposed to be one of the next, and I mentioned as one of the good steps, right? The launch of that was a good step. And when they were waiting to launch it to deal with illegal mining, and they died. At the time when they died, there were a few people who said that it was going to be the galvanizing force so that their death will not be in vain, and that the ultimate tribute to them is to win the war against illegal mining. There are many who said that. But as we have now seen, we've buried them. Tragically as it is, we haven't moved. Nothing has really changed. So you also asked the question, so are we going to look on for their death, the sacrifice they make to be in vain? Because if you win the war, he who's very close to the president, and I want to cite something that the Interior Minister told us on Super Morning Show. He says he actually, Omani told the president in one of their meetings that he put his job on the line, that he will fight the illegal mining and he will win, and that if he fails, he's ready to resign, to leave the job. He should be sacked or he will resign. That is the Interior Minister himself, who sits in cabinet, who make the point in one of the meetings with the president. He make that pledge to the president. So what ultimate tribute can you pay to him than win the war that he was fighting that unfortunately claimed his life? But yet, we haven't seen it yet. And for us, it's one of the uglies that something needs to be done very quickly on this. So yes, the good, the bad, and the ugly. My guests are going to weigh in. Where we are on this subject is a national crisis, and that picture on your background is the latest shot from the central region, the epicenter of all this. My guests weighing in after this. Stay with me. Thank you for staying with us here on PM Express. And PMS is always brought to you by Centric Tanks. It is strong, it is tough. Academic Times also, and Pepsodent Cavity Fighter. If you're looking for a tank to store water, the durable one, you need to look for the tortoise on it. If it's not on it, then it's not Centric Tanks. And so you then need to find something else. At the time when we were talking about water, for those who need it, I'm pretty sure that's a good solution for them. You can call them across the country. They are available at many depots that you can get the tank to buy. Also tonight, the Academic Times Journal is launching very soon, and you need to look out for it because you're going to make possible for those who have academic papers in the schools to publish and get visibility. So watch out for it when they launch. And then Pepsodent Cavity Fighter is for you tonight before you sleep. Get it because it guarantees stronger teeth. And indeed, it is one that is recommended by your dentist. My guest joining me for a conversation on this matter. You've seen evidence as we laid out, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Engineer Michael Sando Ali is the Director of Mining Environmental Protection at the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. I'm delighted that he could join us, Michael. And Na Dingswa, you know her. She's a convener of the Stop Galamsey protests and human rights activists too. She was on the street over the last 2 days campaigning and asking for some action on this subject. Senor Hossi is the regular suspect. He joins me in the studio. He's been here many, many times on PM Express, and he's joining me for a different conversation as far as illegal mining is concerned. He is obviously with the Ghana Coalition Against Illegal Mining. He's a member there. I'm grateful, Senor, that you agreed to join us. We have Professor Mahmoud Akudugu, who's also joining us. He's the national president of UTAG, and now UTAG has been at the forefront as far as the unions are concerned, asking for action, and he also joins us. I'm grateful, sir. But I want to start with Reverend Father Nicholas, who's joining us for a conversation. He's the president of the National Justice, Peace, Integrity of Creation with the Catholic Archdiocese. I'm grateful, Reverend Father, for joining me. And I want to start with you. And I have laid out the evidence, and I know you've seen your own. But the Central Region one, really heartbreaking. You saw the Ghana Water Company officer walking us through what the turbidity level should be and what they recorded on the 6th of September. You saw the Ghana Water Company officials now hiring young men to use shovel to take the silt out so the water can get into the intake. How did that strike you?
Honestly, I felt so bad. I could feel it within my own self. And whilst I was coming, I asked myself, now kids are going to school. Some of these things are happening around where these children are going. What kind of water are they going to drink?
I'll tell you a story. The team that went to the ground told us they found evidence of children were not in school because they had to travel long distances to find potable water. The water is so bad you can't even wash with it. So you have to find something else. And so they're not coming to class. The teachers also not coming to class, and they're coming late because they also have to find water. So everybody's stranded. But this is the one that broke my heart. Menstrual hygiene is now being affected. So the young girls are not finding water to keep themselves hygienic. And we're going to be showing all that very soon.
We have a president in this country.
So, you know, when I saw the evidence, and a young girl...
8 people died.
Yeah. 8 people died.
And then we do a whole national, local, whatever it is. Yeah. What concept party is this?
Yeah.
Why are we behaving as if we are not human beings? Also, for what are you preaching in church? I mean, what are we preaching in church?
Same thing we're preaching in church. We're telling people about the same thing. It's sad. Honestly, it's very sad. Last year, we organized this prayer walk.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was there.
We saw some few machines that were...
You're a Catholic, right?
I'm not Catholic,
okay.
but I believe in the cause. So wherever it is, I join.
You have to go, okay.
So we felt, well, something was happening, and then they seeded off. And then a new government came. Honestly, they joined us in the same cry.
Okay.
And we were thinking, at the end of the day, they've taken the mantle now. Let's see something. I mean, some of the things you showed were some of the things the previous government was doing. The Bishop Conference have just written another communique, and they are saying, let's do something. Look, if things are not translated on the ground, and it's all bookish and it's all news, and look, people will continue to make noise. I wrote an article a couple of days ago, so it's now being massaged. It's being massaged.
This is a problem you should massage.
It's not NDC NPP matter. I'm talking about the government. Anyone that comes massages the issue. And it's something very bad, which we need to look at. So if people are calling for state of emergency, I mean, sometimes people think it's going to come to the whole country or what, I don't know. Some are saying no, and no. We've done all kinds of, looked at it in different ways. It's not working. So state of emergency would halt what is happening, and then people can come together, we sit together and talk about some measures, concrete measures to stop what is happening. Look, when COVID started, I heard it. It sounded like China, isn't it?
So far away.
Far away.
Yeah.
It's far. So you might sit in your house and think, oh, I'm in Accra, I don't feel it. Oh, I'm in Volta region, I don't feel it. Hey, it's a joke.
I mean, Senor, to that point that Reverend makes, the president feels it. I mean, at least he lost one of the closest buddies.
If this president will not do it, then we are hopeless. Because first of all, I actually thought that Nana Addo should have been the one man to have fixed this problem because he wasn't standing for election anymore. He should have left with his name high. He didn't. This president is a one-term president. If for nothing at all, one of your closest people died. Omanuni is not a friend to the president. It's his brother. One of his closest confidants. If you can look, Mr. President, you can look at those children, you can look at Yahweh, all of them, you can look at those children, his wife, and still be superintending this thing on your own. Honestly, we must be men with some little honor. Even amongst thieves, there's honor. What is this? We lie. What is the turbidity that you found at
Kwenyako Waterworks? That is 94,800 NTU.
What was it last year when we were told that it was 14,000 that all of us got up? What was it? Tell the people of Ghana.
So in that same vicinity, the same central region, the different plant, it was 14,000.
Our politicians are dumb liars. They should stop it. We give you a mandate to serve us, to help posterity. We don't give you a mandate just to lord, enjoy the largesse of public office. Okay, at least give us our peace back. True service. It was 80-something thousand last year, wasn't it?
I mean, 14,000.
No, you found someone be 84,000.
Yeah, 84,400. That's now.
That's the people of Ghana.
That's the 6th of September.
6th of September, we have 84,000. What are we hearing? The only thing we had was 30-something thousand.
Yeah, it
was
it was 32,000 like 3 weeks ago when the Ghana Water Company boss went to visit. But when we went 6th of September, just 2 weeks on after the president has spoken.
Central region is just a few minutes away from here. Just a few, as if our road were proper. In fact, Kaswa is central region.
And you know, the regional minister, when this happened, he was there. He said he wanted a state of emergency.
Did you see what Gabriela Tete said? She's angry. She's going to marshal her people to go and fight illegal miners. Gabriela, you're my friend. You're a very sweet person. Don't waste your energy. Go and fight your government. They have the power to control this. There's no reason. We sat here, we had ministers who are sitting in cabinet today who said that if a government was serious, in 1 week.
Yes, correct.
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Yeah.
Are they not sitting in government? What has happened to the 1 week? How many months now? Where we are now, it's not NDC MPP. It's the future of our children. It's the future of those children there.
Yeah.
Today, we are selling Kirkland water. Go to cantonments, you find Kirkland water. Go to East Legon, you find Kirkland. Do you know Kirkland?
Tell me.
Costco US water.
Yep.
We find Voss, it's being retailed. So like the way we are importing water. Hey, we are importing water. It's not even Belacqua. It is not Vortic. We are importing Voss. When you go to a big man's house, you drink Kirkland water or you drink Voss. Meet our boss at the last time to see if there's a special difference. My brother, what is at stake now is not us. Oh. It's not my shouting. I'm going to call on the people of Ghana. At this junction, we can't turn left or right. As Kwame Nkrumah said, our way is only forward. The forward road is only one for Ghana. This NDC, MPP, they are all telling us zero hope for our children and our future. If we don't fight for the Ghana that we want, we will not get the Ghana that we need. So if His Excellency the President, and I know him a bit, he's a good, nice man. Whatever is holding him, I don't know. John Mahama is a good, fine man. His brain is on point. His children are sweet people. I can't understand that he would think of other people's children to drink this water. I don't think the First Lady, in her sanity, would ever sit down and approve of any of this when one of the people she loves the most has died. Why should the minister of lands be raving and ranting as if he's the only one on the street. Where are the people who said 1 week? Sam George, my brother, Igbo Yo. Okujeto, where are you? We have to call you out. My own brother, Roxy Dafiamo Paul, you cannot change your mouth. Please, it's not about your party. It is about Ghana. There should be something we should stand for.
Yeah.
This system's problem is simple. The whole politics has been hijacked by this Galamsey thing. Corrupt people taking government largesse, taking government contracts, were first seizing the politics. It has gone now. Galamseyers own the politics. Council of State, Mr. President knows, everybody knows the kind of people who are there, that you find the people in there. The executive, they are there. Parliament, they are there. The only place where they are, in fact, even the media, some of them own the media.
Yeah.
Where's our hope? If Mr. President will not do it, it's okay. I'm tired. I've suffered under every government. You guys can come and punish me. It's okay. Somebody should die for something. Omani, my brother, he died for something. But his own people cannot even make what he died for even count. They are thinking that they've raised 3-something million or 6-something million using government donations and all that, blah, blah, blah. To use that to mask and say, I'm thinking of your family. That's the small thinking that you people have. Nothing. Small thinking. You think you give people money and that is it. It's not just for what he wants. He wants you to transform this country. That's why Omani would have been a fine president. Please, we should stand for something. If you're an NDC man and this is happening, talk to your people. Stand out. You should have honor. You can't be an MP with reasonability, with mandate, with allegiance to the Constitution of Ghana. And you see this and keep quiet and come and have the audacity to come and maybe discuss the fact that the president never used the word state of emergency. Nonsense. Do you have a heart? Do you have a heart? Do you have a conscience? For God's sake, what water should we drink? It's just a matter of time. This thing will hit a crack.
So the children I was talking about, so look at them. These are the children. They send them out there to go and fetch the water. That's what they drink. And for the young ones who are in school and young girls, that's it. That's a young.
You see, it feels far away because their children are GIS.
Yes, that's right.
Their children, just like mine, they are there.
Right.
All right? When they open the tap, they don't even drink the water. They drink Voss and Kirkland. So it's far away. They can afford it. Their children don't go to the free SHS.
That's right.
Their children will not go to Legon.
Yeah, that's the water.
They will end up going where? Go and check where the children go to school. They should tell us even how they got the money.
Yeah.
For God's sake, you have the mandate. Nobody is chasing you for anything. Just do some small good. And that when people know you really came here.
So you see, this is
the water somebody should cook. Yeah. And now look at the food stuff that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Tubers.
Yeah,
Yes.
tubers.
What are our staples here?
Yeah.
Rice, largely imported. All these things, we can't get proper rice. I'm a rice farmer, forget.
Yeah.
All right, take our rice. So now what's next? Our maize. Our central region produces maize. What are you going to get? Tubers, our yam, our cocoa yam.
It's all gone.
What are we going to eat?
It's not like it's gone. It's poisoned.
It's poisoned.
So we're actually
these
eating.
people don't have a choice. They will have to eat. I'm saying that if you're an NDC member and you go to church and you're a human being with a human brain, something should tell you that you tell your people to stop. You should tell your people to stop.
Yeah.
If you have power and you cannot exercise to cure this, then what is the power for? You know, honestly, what is the power for? You understand? What is the power for? I beg the people of Ghana, at this juncture, we are almost on our own. The next time you hear, we all are going to have to occupy, how do they call it now? Flagstaff House. Because the seat of government, the power of government must be brought to bear to cure this problem. They themselves said 1 week. These are my friends, so they are not my enemies. The politicians are my friends.
Yeah.
Both ways. What they are doing, you should stop it. When you sit in my house and we talk, you know.
Yeah, and that is why.
Stand for something.
Let me bring that. Now, this why you were on the streets 2 days ago. The evidence that you're just seeing then, these are just videos that we just captured a few days ago because we really wanted to understand. I guess it's really what inspired you and the others to go on the streets. Because I know you have children and you've taken some of them to the protest before, right? Clearly, you feel this was a proper justification for the protest. The key question then becomes, did you get the tangible outcomes that you were expecting, the protest, for example, would bring?
I don't have any faith in any politician. They are not going to do anything about this Galamsey. They won't. We will die. Our children will suffer and die.
That's where you are now.
That is where I have reached now. I don't sleep at night. The children sleep in the bedroom with me. I look at them in the middle of the night and I cannot sleep and I cry in my pillow. The little boy I was with, he hears me and he wakes up and he says, "Grandma, are you okay?" And I have to hold myself and say, "Yes, Desmond, I'm okay. Grandma's okay." I know he has absolutely no future. I don't only have little children in my house, I have elderly people in my house. One of them is chronic kidney patient, level 3, now level 4. What do I do? She's in her 50s. There's another person in my house who also has kidney and liver problems. What do I do? I have a herbalist friend that I talk to. He tells me there's nothing more. I can't afford dialysis. I can't. Once in a while, he makes some herbs for me, and the 50, she's 50, I think she's 55. She'll drink it this month. We'll go and do a test. Everything's fine. We'll go and do a test next month. It's back again. What is the value of a child's kidney? Is it worth that gold? Is it worth it? Yesterday, I heard Ralph, fellow Ghanaian. He said, thousands will benefit, but millions will suffer. Those little children are part of the millions. They are innocent. None of them own any gold. I don't believe any of them will ever own any gold ornament. Because they have seen, I have sat with them, we have watched, we have seen the deformed babies that are being born. And these children are running away from the pictures. They are looking at them and turning their head and looking back, and they can't take it. I showed them pictures of the fish. I showed them pictures of the elephants dead, lying in the river. And they were so sad. And when I said I was going to show the pictures to the children, I had to ask somebody for the pictures. And he said, "Don't you think it's too harsh?" And I said, "It's better they know what is going on now and start fighting for themselves now. I will not be here forever. Senor Hosi will not be here forever. Reverend will not be here forever. How long will you be here for?" We are getting old. We can't keep fighting. They have to fight for themselves, and we have to teach them to do it, and we have to do it now. And the Galamsey has to end now. Or who are the politicians going to lead? When everybody's looking for a kidney, and everybody's kidney is affected, who are they going to lead? Are they going to lead the empty gold mines? They're going to bring people from abroad to work in their gold mines? It has to end, and it has to end now.
Their children will be away.
Pardon?
Their children will be away, so they don't care.
We too, we don't care where their children will be, but they have to care about our children. Do you know, people are beginning to tell me that in the next election, don't vote for him. People are, I go in the streets. I don't go to the universities. I'm on the street. People on the street are now telling me, don't vote for him. NDC is going. That one went, we'll send this one out. We don't care who's coming. We'll vote for that person. We'll try that person. Can you imagine? This is not a joke. Oh.
And to put it more bluntly, you have campaigned and been on the streets and had actually been victimized, I remember, when in the previous government.
Yes.
Yes. So you're not saying this because of, and that's a point that
I don't care who is in
Ghana.
Yes.
You know, in Ghana, when you speak, people then put you. But the point is, you have been consistent.
Yes.
On this subject.
I really don't care who's in power.
Yeah.
And I don't care where you live and what you do. Do the job. Just do the job. We want clean water. We want healthy food, and we want fresh, clean air. We've had enough of this nonsense.
UTAG joins me, and I invited them because, as far as the labor unions are concerned, and the TUC joined the protest at the time, but we haven't had TUC, but at least UTAG is there. And Prof, you were on the show at the time when we mourned the 8th, and I remember you and Dr. Ashibe making the point that you were confident that the death of the 8th will galvanize some action. Have you seen any action since then?
I think you remember that word, but you didn't remember when I said that if after 2 weeks of the death of these 8 people, nothing drastic happened, we should forget about Galamsey fight.
I remember you said that too, yes.
And I wish that I was wrong. But be as it may, I think we just have to do whatever it takes to get those who have the power to act at the speed that we need it to happen. As I always say, time is of essence. And in fighting crime or in fighting this environmental criminality, it is about the timing of it. And if you miss the time, the critical point of the fight, you will lose the fight. And so the least we expect, the very least we expect from the government is to declare those states or those areas with this endemic Galamsey going on national security zones. No trespassing. That's the very least that we expect from this government. And I've said it, and I'll say it again, that we disagree with the president that we have not exhausted the laws or whatever legal instruments are available to deploy for this fight. Well, over almost about the past 9 or so years, the same instruments are being deployed, and they never yielded the results we expected. And so to continue to do the same thing and expect different results, I really don't see anything happening. Yes, we are told that some achievements have been made, some forest reserves have been reclaimed, and some of them are being reinvaded. And the rest of it. Our water bodies, as you've reported in your initial commentary, have become worse. We are even in the rainy season, and rivers have the potential to, clean themselves and become clearer as the rains come and go. And so if we're in the rainy season and we're having these high levels of turbidity and all that is happening, the rivers are not cleaning up, you can imagine the situation when we enter the dry season. And so this is not a matter of politics. And I just pray that something drastic happens.
Is Utah going to take any further action? And I know even before the death of the 8, you had given the president, I believe, 100 days, if 3 months or 100 days, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And you were asking for a few things to be done. You obviously haven't seen them.
Yes.
Are we going to see any action from UTAG?
Most likely. We're having our Congress just next week. And that'll mark the end of the 3 months that we give. And so our biennial national Congress will be next week. And definitely Congress will take a decision as to what will be the next action. And we believe that definitely something concrete, they will take a concrete decision as to the next steps if nothing happens by the time that we go for Congress.
Yeah.
And we are hopeful that I've just seen a statement somewhere that the Ghana Medical Association has also raised some issues.
Yeah.
We are hopeful that other associations will join this time and will not retreat when we reach that critical moment of pulling the trigger.
And that is the most important one. I'll come to Reverend to see what else can the Catholics Bishop Conference and others do. But let me go to the EPA's rep with us, obviously because they represent the state in this conversation. And Michael is the Director of Mining and Environmental Protection at the Environmental Protection Agency. Michael, tell me, you see the pictures there. And first of all, even before I talk to you as the officer representing the EPA, from a very human level, just a Ghanaian, how does that strike you? What are the reactions that swell up in you when you watch the images we are showing you?
Thank you, Evans, and thank you for your cherished listeners and viewers. And thank you for agreed other panelists as well. It was something that was shocking to me because, I mean, this issue of fight of Galamsey has not been an issue that started just yesterday. I mean, we can think about from 2013 thereabout coming, but it's horrifying to see that our water bodies are in such state, and then the Ghana Water Company cannot treat the water because of the high turbidity levels that have gotten into these river bodies. And so, and we all knowing that the process of treating water by Ghana Water, there is no reverse osmosis. And so it becomes a very difficult thing and very daunting task for them to do. And therefore, they'll be applying so much alum, and even that will not bring down the turbidity. So you find yourself having water in your house, and you fetch it into the container, and you find out that at the end of the day, there's some fine sediments in the water. And so it was just mind-boggling to me when I saw this. I mean, but we shouldn't throw in the towel.
Okay,
we
so
can still win the war.
How? Because you now speak for the EPA, you are the Director of Mining. How can we win the war?
Yes. When this current government came into office, an 18-member committee was inaugurated to look to a working committee on illegal mining activities within our forest reserves and water and river bodies. And in June 2025, we have submitted our report to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
You were on that committee?
Yes, I was on that committee.
Okay.
And a blueprint has been given out on what should be done in that report. Because you looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly, I would come from some angle. Because you're thinking that, the issue about the LI 2462, which everybody is calling for its repeal and revocation. In any case, that law was not for illegal mining or small-scale mining. It was for legalized mining in the forest reserves.
True.
And there is a history and a genesis to it. I think in the last time when I appeared on JoyNews, at the studio, I gave the explanation on how the genesis of that thing came. It was a guideline from 2001 because we had legalized large-scale mines in the forest. And so after operating for 19 years, we said, look, these guidelines can be converted into a law. And after the review in 2019, we contacted the Attorney General's office and they guided us and we prepared this law. So this law is not what brought about the increase in mining, illegal mining in the forest. But this one was to curtail,
it opened the door.
manage
It opened
forest
the door.
reserves, mining in forest reserves.
Yeah, but
in any case,
Michael, just a second. There's a contrary opinion in the studio.
We vehemently disagree with him. Technically, he has a case. Technically, he has a case.
Michael, I'll come to you definitely. Please, just a second for me.
A case. But on the back of that law, we have seen a lot more abuse of that particular law. And what has the EPA been able to do? You opened the door. You didn't intend it. I agree. It was never intended that way. So you, the technical people, we don't have a fight with you. We have seen how that law has been operationalized. You open a window, and that window has become a door. It has become a gateway. It has become only God knows what. So that law must go. And we are happy that the minister has agreed to get that happen. Okay. So I bet that's what digress this conversation into discussing. It's not going to help anybody here.
Michael, yes, you can make the point on that.
So I think we met the president, and in February he agreed that the law be amended.
Amended or repealed, because there are two different things.
Listen to me.
Okay.
I'm making a case.
Okay.
The law should be amended to remove that clause 3.2 that gave him the powers to let certain types of forests be allowed for mining. And it was amended into LI 2501, 2025.
Evans, we are not going to make this conversation about the LI. The LI position is gone. So let's just move on.
Okay, so
if it was helpful, we won't be here. Why do you just take out 10% of the exposure? And we are saddled with 90% of the exposure. That conversation is over. We have a problem with the kind of water we have right now. What are we doing about it? The EPA should tell us what they are doing about what is happening now. Have you arrested the people?
To that question, let him do that. I mean, so to that question, and Senor is not the only one asking it. Everybody watching us tonight has the same question. Fundamentally, what are you doing to fix the problem? What is new?
To revoke that law.
Beyond the law, though. We need to do something radical.
The law, we've all come to accept that illegal mining is a national security threat.
Okay.
We've all come to
the illegality that's going on. That EPA is seeing that our environment is being destroyed. What is EPA doing about it?
It's coming to address it.
That is the question.
It's coming to address it. Yes, he said it's a national security problem.
We are not a military. We can only educate. We can only advise.
But wait. So just a second, Senor. So Michael, so what is your advice to the president on? You said it's a national security problem. What is your advice there? Do you back the declaration of the state of emergency? EPA?
I can't say about that, but I mean, when there is a need for it, and all of us are agreeing that there is a need for it, why not? But you see, we all know the Constitution and how.
No. But you have to start first. You remember you are a technical person. You've seen the problem. You said it's a national security issue. So you just have to give your advice. It's the president's job to. Does the EPA believe, from a technical point of view, that a state of emergency will help deal with the problem fundamentally?
From my personal perspective, I don't think we have gotten there yet.
Okay, so that's the president's line. So that's the EPA. That's the president's line. President says we're not.
I don't think the man speaking even believes in what he's saying. You heard his own language. You say this is a crisis. If you are sitting here, you are an EPA man, you are seeing this thing, you are telling what you... Let me tell you the conditions under which we are supposed to have what do you call it? A state of emergency. Look at the Constitution. Look at Article 31. Very clear. These are the conditions. Very summarized. War and armed conflict, natural disasters, floods, earthquake, public health crisis. Any situation that disrupts essential supplies or public safety. Which part of this English that anybody listening here doesn't understand? Can you treat mami? Don't pek banamla. What joke is this? You see, the man, I won't go after him because he's a public servant. The way our politics is, other than that, he himself, he knows that what he says, he shouldn't even be on TV again. It was better off not coming at all. You admit the problem, you see the crisis, you see the danger, and you tell me that you are not in a terrible situation.
Yeah.
We were here, 14,500. What did we ask for? We were screaming, state of emergency. We built the airline.
Yeah.
Today, we are dealing what? 84 or 90 something thousand. What are we talking? What a low about? Look, we must make the matter simple. If the president really believes that what he is doing is productive, we should stop discussing problems as in, I have done this, I have done this. What is the outcome of what you have done?
Yeah, and you want a way to
our
measure
problem,
it to see the
number one is our water.
Yeah.
Number two is our forest reserves. So let's start. Ghana Water. Every single day, publish the quality of water that is coming into your system that you are processing from every single plant. It's supposed to be public information. Let everybody know. Mr. President, you yourself see it. Let everybody see it. Because in this Ghana here, we don't go to school to learn. We go to school to pass exam. So we are setting the exam question for you, Mr. President. It is the turbidity that is going there. Your Galamsey question is the turbidity that enters the water body. So publish it and then we'll all be scoring you. And you yourself, you advise yourself as to what you must do to make sure this thing is resolved.
Yeah, let me bring in Reverend.
It's the life of the people.
Reverend, are there further actions lined up from your end? I know you've done a lot already. Yep. You mentioned that there's a communique that you've recently just issued. When was this?
That was on Monday.
Okay, this is just yesterday.
I mean, last
week, yes, of course, I saw that. Okay, so that's that one. Can we expect further action from the Catholic bishops?
There are different groups within the church that are talking for now.
Okay.
We want to come up later on and see what other things can we do besides the statement that was issued by the Bishop Conference. I mean, another thing I know that the church is also doing is that the Bishop Conference are asking priests to talk about it at churches. At
churches, okay.
Because that is also one basic place you can get people.
Absolutely. And with your numbers that can have...
Especially areas where these things are happening, so that they can rethink about the way things are going. I mean, it's not just about writing things here and there, but there should be some concrete things happening. So I know there's a group that I'm part of. We like the ones that we did last year. We want to see if we can get many more people to also see light in what we're doing, and then they can join hands, and then we see what to do, to also advise the president. The voice of the people is the voice of God. I mean, something we all know. So when people start talking here and there, we should know that it is the voice of God. We shouldn't just ignore it, because the Muslim people are talking about it, the Pentecostal and the other Christians, they are talking about, Catholics are talking about it. Then who else should talk about it?
Thank you, Reverend. So this is what we are going to do. If these people are not going to cooperate with us, when we respect you and you fail to respect the respect that you have been given, you will be disrespected. And you have called it for yourself. The church, not just the Catholic Church, the whole church. My former school prefect, he's the Assemblies of God. He's the Assemblies of God head. Pastor Winger, what are you telling? Pastor Winger, I'm asking you, what are you telling the president? Me, I'm a Royal Ranger. Pastor Winger, what are you telling the president? Because he goes to your church. What is Assemblies of God telling the president? Catholics, what are you telling the people in cabinet? So if not, bring everybody together. They are Lutheran right now. That's our option. Organized labor, you tag. Forget about who wants to tell himself. Forget him. If you don't have common sense to think that you have to fight for your own future, your children and your children's future, stay there. Everybody, we are going to occupy that flag Sabbath at some point. We have to come together, have one common conference, and agree a way forward, because we are almost becoming a leaderless state. When you see this, what does it look like? There's no Thank you very much.
What does that mean? And not everybody can speak that. But what you're saying is?
There is no adult in the house controlling, protecting, loving, looking after the children. He's gone. Look at the little children we were just watching. The ages.
Don't you have a heart?
You don't feel pain for how long a woman carries this thing in her womb? 9 months.
See, this is what they're going to use to cook for food,
for somebody to eat. And gives birth. and runs away and leaves the alien she has given birth to. And you are still sitting there talking about it. You're still sitting there talking about it. I am crying for my children. I am having sleepless nights for my children. You are sleeping because you can bring water from abroad. I can't. I can't. The water was given to us by our Creator, freely and lovingly. It was clean. Look at it. Because of what? How much gold are you going to adorn yourself with? How much gold are you going to leave to your children? They are going to squander it and waste it. And our lives and our children and our children's children are paying the price for this gold.
Look,
we don't want this nonsense again.
I'll tell you something. The president had very strong economic finance and economic policy, and I'm a businessman. Fantastic policy interventions to optimize gold issues. The gold botting, fantastic. Give them commendation. It has no reason why. It is the basis for which you have consolidated and you are getting a lot of gold records. The least you can do with that income is to correct the field around it. Stop that and make sure you have responsible mining. Nobody has said there will be no mining in the country. But mining must be done responsibly and legally.
Let me ask Reverend. Reverend,
and look at what we are happening. We are trading gold for the lives of our
Reverend,
children.
some of the politicians are members of your church.
Yes.
And as he was saying, we know where the president attention, so he's directly speaking to. What do you tell them?
I'm calling you out.
For those politicians who attend the Catholic Church, do you have a personal conversation with them? Are you having personal conversations with them?
Like I said, the bishops are engaging them.
Okay.
They call them, they have meetings, and some of them also meet them at different places, not maybe as a group, but sometimes individually as well. You know, I find it difficult that I know these things are happening, but what is on the ground is different. I don't know what the problem is. Sometimes I tend to think it's like some people's money, you have invested money in that thing, and maybe if you want to put a state of emergency, their money will go, or what? I don't know.
Reverend, if you use illegal money to fund politics, if I'm a politician, I will collect it. When I finish, that illegal money belongs to the state. So it's the state funding. You don't owe that thief who has robbed the environment a single iota of commitment. You use the power that he has funded using the state resources, stolen. The future of our children, stolen. You use it to rather go after him and tell him that this nonsense must stop. So you go after them.
Yeah, just a second.
Look, you know what? We need to also ban the importation of drinking water. We must ban it.
So we all drink.
We all drink. They must publish the NTU. They must ban the importation of water. Then these people, big men, that we all sit in Accra, in this bougie area, I belong to that people. We bougie area. We also start getting to face the music. Our children should go and also feel the same music. They must ban all of us, our children, from traveling for this country. Yeah. We should all feel it.
And Reverend, just finally, so this Sunday and any other Sunday, the ministers will be taking this on in the churches. So that's part of the fight. And then there's personal conversations happening with the politicians who attend the Catholic Church also. And then you said that down the line you adopt other measures where it's more public-facing for the president. Have you asked for a personal meeting with the president on this matter? I know last year they met. You tried, yes. Have you met Nanado, I believe? No. Or you met all the aspirants?
You also met Nana.
JM. JM, yes. Met him, yes. Now he's a president.
No, when he was a president, they met him.
Oh, this year already?
Yeah.
You met him this year already?
Met him this year.
On this Galamsey matter?
Yeah, they talked about it.
And what did he tell you?
Well, I mean, he like the promises he made that they are still just coming, and things will be done. So we are all hoping that something like that. But what we see, like I said.
So have you seen the evidence of that promise being executed, being implemented?
Not much. I wouldn't say we've seen much of that, because for me, like I said, it's still like what is happening last year, what we experienced last year. Now things are going up again, Yeah. So it means that, it was just a meeting, and that ended it.
And just finally to Prof. With UTAG. UTAG, Beyond the action that you may take after your Congress, are you also dialoguing at all? Or this is just now beyond dialogue? Are you asking for a meeting to make the case?
Yeah, we have asked for meetings. I think Brother Sanya would attest to that. We are part of the coalition.
Yes. Okay.
We actually wrote to the president asking for a meeting, and who were directed to meet the minister. And
has that meeting happened?
Oh, the meeting with the minister happened.
Happened, okay.
Yeah.
Were you satisfied with what you heard and matching it with reality?
He was supposed to get back to us, report to the president, and get back to us. I'm not too sure. Bro, saying I'm not too sure if they have gotten back.
We've not got the formal feedback from the presidency. What we eventually got, which we appreciate from the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, they gave us a seat at the NIMOS so that we have visibility on what's going on.
Okay.
But like I repeat, the summary, the sweetness of the pudding is only in the eating. So if the effect of all that we are doing is meaningful, it should reflect in better stability in our water levels. Yeah. You have done Gold Board. That has helped us bring a lot more things. Gold Board is not going to solve everything. It's done well. I mean, and I commend Sami Jefi, fantastic guy. He's doing his part. All right? But he has to do with a part. But this part, we have to use the forces of the state.
To do
and that is why you have a president in whom all our natural resources is entrusted upon in our constitution.
Anyway.
So this thing is neither here nor there. We repeat. All the water bodies, they should allow Ghana Water to publish on a daily basis if the president means well for us. He should start by 1st October, every single place where we process water, publish it. Let everybody track what is happening.
Senor.
One. Number two, I beg Magbina.
Okay.
Number two, they must ban the importation of drinking water. Ban it.
Purify it.
Mr. President, your house, you can't have some. Mr. Minister, your house, you can't have some. Mr. MP, your house, you can't have some. Mr. Businessman, you can't have some. If you don't suffer with the people, you can't cure their problem because their problem will look too far away from you. Like the children you are seeing there. It look like some places, even look like Sudan or something like that. Some godforsaken. That's how that thing look like. Look at it like Sudan, Somalia, something like that. So they don't see it. Let it come to their doors. And in fact, I think that the gods of my village, we should ban any Accra person drinking water from the water leak.
Yeah.
They should ban them. They should all go and take the water from the wager and go there. When they start smelling pepper, and they start thinking about, look, do you know Cape Coast? That's where we actually have our finest of schools. That's where the creme de la creme of our future, as far as education is concerned, is the water they are drinking. Their parents, if you don't know, they are sending bottled water to the people there. You see, Ghana, we are wicked people. When people have power, we are wicked. When we have power, we don't use it to transform people. We use it to loot the people. And every problem that we face, we outsource it. We run down our education. We don't put in proper education system. The simple problem for those with power and those with the money is that they take them to a private school. True or false?
Yeah.
True.
The same thing. We'll chop your gold. We'll get the money. We don't care. You can shout and say, send you a company limited. You can shout, now this one, that's all. Next minute, we import Voss and Kirkland water. They don't care.
Senor, thank you very much. Reverend, I'm grateful that you joined us.
No, I don't do this. We said he's the West president. Now, what are we saying?
Reverend, I'm grateful. And you also have Pastor join me.
Pastor Wingham. Your Pastor
Michael,
Wingham. Oh, Pastor Wingham.
This is a conversation we'll return to. Enjoy the rest of your evening.